ladies and gentlemen, what is happening? It's Ron Emerson, your host of the Wrestling Wire, and joining me tonight, my co-host, producer, will you hit the button and bring his ass on screen? What are you doing?
It's a sexy ass, I guess.
Oh,
as far as I'm told. What's up, Ron?
Time. What, man? How you doing? So, look, bro, we got a special tonight.
Yeah, we do. We do. I'm hyped for it. We've been talking about it for quite some time.
Yep.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be your first time doing a hosting gig at a Slash Burlesque show. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited. I'm hyped. But what am I talking about, Ron?
Me too.
What are you talking?
We are talking about Bloodbaths and Body Shots coming up this Saturday, August the 31st in Asheville, North Carolina. Doors open at 5. Bell time is at 7. Tickets are $15 at the door. Card subject to change is a huge thing. That statement right there needs to be brought up a little bit bigger. But we'll go over all the details that we can give you during this show tonight. We've got some people already in the back waiting to come on, talking about the show, talking about the matches. We've got the matches sitting here ready.
Tell you. So. Yeah, I'm hyped for this. You've seen some of those matches, like Ron said, car substance change. We're gonna talk about that. What happened? We'll find out. I mean,
if you wanted me to be honest with you, I think somebody got scared when they realized that they were going to be at a show that had deathmatch wrestling and body shots happening within 5 feet of each other. I think that might have scared some people.
Yeah, because the word body shot, they probably didn't think it was, shots, but shots to the body, a chair shot here and there. You never know. You never know.
Earlier today, as a matter of fact, somebody asked me if I had my shots before I, crossed the border and went into North Carolina. And I'm like, no, listen, I'm getting shots when I get there. I'm getting shots when I get there, but not beforehand. I'm good to go. This is what we do. So at any rate, let's bring on a couple of people. We are going to bring on Ghazi and Lazarus Black, and we're going to talk about this event. Welcome to the show, folks.
Hello.
Hello. Ooh, you can feel the tension already.
I think Ghazi froze. Oh, slightly. Oh, there we go. Ghazi's moving.
No, my computer decided to buffer the second you went live.
Yes.
That's why we use iPhones, baby. That's why we use
iPhones.
If it does it again, I will switch to my phone.
iPhone. I have iPhone.
Android better.
But no, I
have both.
If that was up to me, I'd still be using a Nokia brick because that thing is a murder weapon.
True. That thing was like Thor's hammer, man.
I'm running a
bullet shield.
Yeah, definitely a bullet shield. I'm running a gaming rig for this podcast, so I think I'm overpowered for this.
You're a little OP there.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, David, do you think it's a little OP for what I'm doing?
No, I mean, you got to handle the bandwidth somehow, right?
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, man. Shoo. It has been a wild day talking about this show. We've been talking about...
Tell me about it.
Right? Well, I mean, we've been talking about this for months. The three of us have. David as well has been brought into the fold on, what's going on and what we're doing. So
it's been crazy. It's been crazy announcement after crazy announcement, but let's clear the air on that. What is going on, guys? What are we talking about?
The opening match that I have, the first matchup I have a picture of here is we have Ghazi going against Saraya Saber.
Ooh, okay.
Now,
okay,
Ghazi, who is Saraya Saber?
So this match came about when the QWI came out last year. We were announced as number 200 and number 199, the final two spots. So we were immediately like, well, we have to fight at some point. And from there, it's just kind of grown. And now almost 1 year on, it's finally going to happen. And it's kind of like a point of like, we want to show everyone how far we've come in this last year and why this next list we deserve to be much higher.
Okay.
So it's
Definitely.
mostly just a respect thing between the two of us. It's mostly just a, hey, this is what we can do now. We deserve a higher spot than the final two.
Okay.
Okay.
Still,
That's a
I'm
good. That's a
still gonna-
statement. What a way to send a statement. You know.
it's going to be a good statement. And watch, that video of that matchup's going to end up in the developers' hands of the QWI, and watch those numbers change.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely. So that's one matchup. I've got Jake Murphy and Ryan Mantis,
Mantis. All right.
the Heathen, and y'all's former brother.
Yeah.
Define brother.
Well,
This
basically.
years
this was-
ago, when I met Lazarus and Ryan were a tag team. Lazarus and Ryan came to this house and sat outside that door over there, and we proceeded to get drunk on air.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh yeah, I've got my little apple whiskey right here.
I've been up since 4, so I'm drinking tea.
I know that feeling.
Yeah,
Right.
I got
Got these for that.
I can't drink that
you.
shit.
Ooh, that'll keep you awake.
Energy drinks do something with the ticker. No bueno.
That's fair.
Not into that one.
This was actually the first match that got changed a little bit.
Okay.
Like, there's no point in going over names because the original match didn't even get announced, but we kind of needed someone for Ryan to fight, and I was like, I really like Jake. He's been really good to me as a friend, so I'm gonna hit him up and see if he's available. Lo and behold, he was. He's been dying to come to the Carolinas and come to Asheville, so it was a match made in heaven. It just kind of worked out.
Super cool guy,
That's awesome.
and that's gonna be a dope match because, like, me and Ryan had our spats and feuds and stuff like that, and we did our death match, and that kind of then the stuff at AIWF kind of ended it. But the amount of progression, and Ron has seen this from when we were the two idiots at the COVID Dome wearing free hugs and tough love shirts
The COVID though.
to doing what we do now. The change just in appearances, because like back then we were both like clean shaven and like everything, like our gear was, most of my gear was white, and now going into like, this is my only shirt I have that doesn't have blood stains on it, that has my name on it. And Ryan is probably 200 pounds lighter and can move like no one his size should be able to move. So that's going to be a dope match.
He was able to move when he was 200 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
So
Him-
with
him
that
a big
weight
boy.
gone, he moves even more now.
Yeah.
But that old school interview with you and me and him, and I think the missus back then was reading the questions. Remember? From the other side.
There was a dude, I can't even remember his name anymore, but he came on and tried to mark about the fact that I took the last name Black from him.
Oh my God! It was what it Ryan Black, but his name was Ryan Blake or something like that, right?
Ethan
Blake.
He had started calling himself Ethan Black.
Right.
Because fun fact, that was supposed to be the original Black Society. And that obviously fell through. But I mean, for the better. And yeah, that interview skyrocketed us, dude. Like, I've said this on other podcast interviews where they've tried to get a little cheeky, and it's like, hey, who's your favorite podcaster? Who's your favorite interview you've done? And it's always the same. Like, sorry to hurt feelings. Because no interview is done for my career what that one did.
Wow, thank you. I wasn't on there, but thank you for
this
shouting
was
us out.
before you and I even knew each other. I still had a ponytail and a soul patch, brother. Like it's
Wow.
been a
I
while.
forgot about the soul patch, man.
That's how I debuted as an announcer.
Not a soul
ponytail-
patch.
Bro, I had a ponytail, a soul patch, and a spike. Like that bitch came down a little ways. Oh man,
Crazy.
I do not miss those days.
I don't either.
He had the Zanatos look going for him, the ponytail.
I'm actually pretty sure that was pre-beard on Labs, and now
It
I look
was.
back
It
at the
was.
pictures and
Wow.
clean shaven, and I'm like, bro, where's your chin? Like,
Oh my god.
Anytime I see a
worst-
picture of clean shaven Laz. Ugh.
So the worst thing about that whole interview was it was hot as hell outside that day.
so hot.
I had been drinking before the show and cooking outside, got drunk, came in the house, ate, sobered up. They showed up. I got drunk again.
Yeah, and I was drinking like
Chocolates.
12% beers.
Yeah, it was like chocolate something.
Yeah, it was sweet baby Jesus. I was drinking like 10 or 12% stouts.
Oh
and
my god.
smoking cloves. God, what a pretentious douche I used to be.
Right?
Used to be.
You had a soul patch. Don't write. You had a soul patch.
This is true. This is accurate. I did have a soul patch. But anyway,
Moving on.
so Ryan Mandis is going up against Jake. That's going to be an interesting combo right there.
Yeah, it is.
Also, Jake has an X factor because his girl's going to be at ringside.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
even more interesting.
Variables, as we like to call them.
Now, this matchup, I believe, has changed. Jack Salem is now gone.
Yep.
And Sigrid is the daughter of Tyr is still here.
Yeah.
It,
We don't need to get into why because it's just gonna piss me off. But yeah, that matchup changed. What, yesterday?
between yesterday and today, yeah. Like yesterday it was a maybe, and today we decided definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a replacement for that already, or?
We do.
There's
do.
some things in the work. Yeah, it's been a crazy day because like you always see Jimmy Ward posting Facebook statuses about you want to be a wrestler but you won't pick up the phone. I was at my job all day today making like phone calls, sending messages, all this stuff, and I saw what he meant by that from the other side. Because when I've run shows in the past, it was easy. It was deathmatch tournament. I knew all the guys. I just texted them and they're all in. But today it was like pulling teeth. But we got somebody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we briefly talked about that. About if you wanted to work or whatever, or have somebody work with you, communication is the key. So yeah,
The funny thing is they all respond after the replacement got found.
That's what happened with a different match that I had to find a replacement for. Is the one guy answered and then 3 different people messaged back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And sometimes it just happens that way. I missed a couple bookings because I was at work in the shoot job, or I was driving and I couldn't respond, and it got handled by the time I responded. But sometimes that just happens.
Right.
But it's always better to make sure that you are available to get those kind of messages.
There was another matchup that I've since deleted the flyer for, and now I'm going to elaborate as to why. Both of the people that were in that have canceled within the last 3 weeks. Well, one of them last week and one of them this week, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. So the matchup between Stephen Meeks and Eric Riker, and then that's gone. Now, then Eric Riker's open challenge was the thing, and that's gone too. So now there's a whole nother thing. But here's what's interesting. I've got all these people messaging me. They're trying to get me to give up, some of the, what do you call it, David?
The cheese may.
The cheese may. Okay. Yeah, the cheese may. I don't know what all this is going on. Yeah. I'm saying it wrong incorrectly, Dick. Thank you.
This says the walking penis with a goatee, but okay.
Hey. Full beard there, big guy. And at least mine's one solid color. They make this shit called
okay.
Just for Men.
Okay,
the
just
Hoochie
because you can't pull off the Raj Al Ghul and you can't grow it properly, you can't.
Bro,
can't knock
you
on it.
you literally probably could pull off Ra's al Ghul, but beyond that, I don't know anything about this. Like, fuck all that. Listen,
Gazi,
listen.
take off your headphones.
You good?
Oh, if you're laughing this hard today, I swear to God, I'm gonna fuck you up on Saturday. I
Oh,
swear
yeah,
to
it's gonna
God,
be a
I'm
good
gonna
time.
absolutely.
It's gonna be
I'm
fantastic.
gonna make your world shake on Saturday.
This is
Yeah,
going to
if
be
you
the
think
show.
this,
Sir,
if you-
cálmate, okay?
Yeah.
Te pone un poco
yeah,
caliente.
what is it? Yeah, muy caliente, motherfucker. That's right. Listen, so I don't know what happened with the hugs
Cheese man.
and weed guy, that dude. And I don't know what happened with Riker's Asylum or what was it, RWO? Didn't we have like 30 of those gimmicks back in WCW, but now we have a new one today? Anyway, well, they have the LWO on the E, but
Hey man.
anyway,
Hey.
I like the LWO for what it's worth.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, hey, and listen, I'm a patron.
Do
I'm
we
a
have
patron, Peckerhead. I went to a Puerto Rican restaurant this weekend. Kiss my ass. Anyway,
So it was. Anyways, back to the show.
Thank you, Gazi. Thank you.
It kind of was an extra fuck up because somebody had already answered the open challenge. We were planning to announce it like later on, like as this like week went on, and then Riker had to pull. So I've had to find a replacement opponent for the replacement opponent.
Oof.
Hey, you had to find. No, you found a replacement dancer. I found a replacement opponent. Fight.
It's kind of cool to see like this behind the scenes of like, all right, shit happened, and we're scrambling at the last minute. The fact that you guys were able to pull that off and get somebody to replace them. Do you have that set in stone now? Are we good? Or?
I'd say these two guys are both committed enough that I would feel comfortable calling it set in stone.
right.
Well, as Ron said earlier, he's dropping the cheese bit. Would you like to share that today, or
Do you want me to say?
I mean, I feel like I sent Ron. Did you get a little something I sent you about somebody who's going to be there Saturday?
I do have something about somebody else who's going to be there. As a matter of fact, I believe that person is backstage currently. I'm trying to check their monitor to see if they're sitting there. Oh, there we go. All right. So believe it or not, there's a person here. John Matthews.
Oh, hey, John.
What? It has
What's up?
been, dude. It's been 2 years since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while.
So you shared earlier this week that you were going to be at this show. And now we're trying to figure out, what is John Matthews' spot there?
You see, I got a message saying that they need a replacement. And I said, I'm down. I just throw anybody my way, and I'll do my thing.
Okay. Oh, like I say, it's been a number of years since I've seen you. You've been mainly working up in the North Carolina market, right?
That's
I haven't seen you in South Carolina in a while,
I know that feeling.
right?
Yeah, I haven't had my South Carolina license, so I'm trying to work on that. But
okay?
Well,
Cool.
that would make sense then as to why I haven't seen you in South Carolina.
That's right.
But you've mainly been in the Gastonia market or up in the Charlotte area, the Kings Mountain area, somewhere over there.
Yeah, Gastonia, Kings Mountain, Lincolnton, Denver.
Okay, all right, that's where I was trying to figure out where I'd seen you. Yeah, I haven't been to Denver yet. been
Don't.
told I need to go up there.
Denver, Colorado, awesome. Denver, North Carolina, don't.
You and I'll have to catch up. Well, no, I told you about Denver and Dallas when we were at this. Yeah. Yeah, no. No bueno, not going. Not enough money for me, baby. I ain't going there. Anyway,
What's up, Clifford?
so do what?
I was answering Clifford's. He said, "What's up, John?"
Oh yeah, we had some comments roll in. Scott Larson from #Truth chimed in and said Ron's gonna knock it out of the park at this show. Oh man, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. You can't do that. Clifford Stanley, one of our refs at XWW, also does some work with Wrestle Evolution as well. Is saying hey to everybody. Man, we all doing good.
Salute.
David Laughlin shared on Facebook. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And you saw the message for Cliff saying, "What up, John?" So,
Yes, sir.
man, look, what have you been doing in the last year or 2 years that's going to prepare you for what you're going to see when you go to Bloodbaths and Body Shots? Because the John Matthews I've seen in the past and the John Matthews I know and have talked to, and you can, hey, look, here's the curtain, just a little bit, just not a whole lot. You and I have talked directly before you stepped through the freaking curtain on more than one occasion. And nothing I've ever seen you do, no place I've ever seen you work is anything like what this is going to be.
Well, you see, I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone, you know, because I've been in the same situations, same kind of shows. I'm just ready to see what else is out there, you know. I want to try different shows just to try them out, you know. I've traveled all the way from North Carolina to New York to Pennsylvania, Indiana, everywhere, but I've never been at a show like this.
That's what we're trying to do.
Man,
That's awesome.
Like,
I've seen it work well at other places, but this is the first time here in this area that it gets pulled off, and you have quite the card put together. The fact that you're able to pull this off, especially with all the shenanigans happening, you guys have the potential to be amazing show.
That box I'm pointing at is half the reason why, because for fuck's sake, Laz has helped me so much with keeping my head on during this.
So the thing we've told people is this is not the first show of its kind by any means. This isn't even the first show of its kind in Asheville. This is the first show of its kind at this scale that has been pulled off in this area. When Ghazi brought me into this, we kind of looked at it as like OG, XPW, ECW. We wanted something that's a little bit trashy, a little bit out of the way. And, you know, sometimes you just want to go to a wrestling show, drink a couple beers, see some hot girls dancing, and not worry about like the 10-year-old kid that's running in between the aisles of the seats. So 21 and show, you know, like just come out, have fun with a bunch of girls, gays, and days.
That should be a t-shirt. I like that.
Wasn't that said? That was said by the guy the person who's made all but one of our posters. They were like, "This is the show for the girls, gays, and days."
Yep.
And I was just like, "I love you."
I like that. That's fun.
That's definitely it's definitely different.
That's marketable.
Who was that shout out to, Les?
Scotty Moore.
Hey, Scotty. Okay. Cheers.
So
you should sell that at the show.
I know you guys heard the beep go off over here, and then you heard me typing. I'm trying to get an answer from someone. I was just sent a video, and they're saying it's in regards to this show. So, Ghazi, do you want me to play this? Okay, well,
I'm
here we
worried,
go.
but we can.
Asheville, North Carolina, where the elevation is high and people find it harder to breathe. Cause the cardio is harder there. What a perfect place for a cardio god like me to find an opponent worthy of facing a demon like me. Worthy of stepping toe to toe with one of hell's finest. Asheville, North Carolina, August 31st, 2024. The demon comes to you.
So
Okay, nice.
that is Thomas Extreme.
That is.
And Thomas Extreme is saying that they're going to show up to this.
Yeah, that's extreme.
Dude,
It's an extreme show, so
I mean, it's only
All right.
right.
for anybody that doesn't know, that's called the Legend of Carolina Cardio. I've never seen Thomas get winded. And I've seen Thomas do some really fucked up shit in the last 18 months.
The crazy thing is that Thomas should be on such a bigger scale than what he is, because dude is insane in the ring, not just in talent, but in sheer lack of self-preservation.
Well, I'm aware. I just saw a ladder match at a bar Friday,
Yeah,
and they went through a table to the concrete
yep,
from above the ring.
that sounds about right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thomas was one of those dudes, like, he's not a deathmatch guy, but he has the respect of every deathmatch person I've ever met whose name has ever come across their feed.
Because like Ron says, some of his feats and stuff he's able to pull off is just the pain tolerance of the guy.
It's insane.
And the cardio, like you said, like the guy can go and not even be wheezing or winded.
I think the guy gets off on pain.
Which makes
Oh,
sense.
Man, that cardio, like, that's crazy. I like wrestling people who aren't scared of me, so I don't have to chase them. That dude would run a marathon just to wrestle him.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
I wouldn't be surprised if he freaking Rocky Balboa runs his way to this
To the
show.
show.
House at a casual jog at 6 in the morning and shows up at the show.
Makes call time. Not worried about it.
Still there to set up the ring.
oh yeah. Thomas Extreme is one of those people now, John, I don't know that Thomas is coming after you. I don't know that Thomas is going after somebody else. I don't know that you're going against. I don't know who's going against who, because so much of this has changed. But if I was you and I was going against that guy, just look, your car can't break down on Saturday, okay? You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Ron.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause,
don't
well-
let that happen. Make sure your
Well,
gas
I
are
have
ready to go.
I have to technically drive past you, so I have to drive that way.
I'll be there, Ron. I'll be there.
I know.
I
I
show
know.
up at your house.
Yeah, that's it. Ask. There's a couple wrestlers you can ask. It wouldn't be the first time.
I'll have a pre-show death match. Don't mess with me.
Ooh.
Laz knows where I live too, so.
I do.
Gotcha.
Anyone who calls out Laz shows up with them like tied over the hood of their car like a fucking deer.
Damn right. Them and 10 boxes of light tubes packed in the trunk. Like, let's go.
Oh,
And I don't know if you guys seen this post I made. Laz, Remington, and Brad all okayed this. We're letting fans who want to bring weapons.
Yeah, and then Ghazi had to go and make the list all safe.
Motherfucker, I love you three too much to let you shoot each other.
Yeah,
come
they
on,
said no
you haven't
guns.
seen Deep South before?
This ain't Deep South, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that, but I have an intruder.
I heard it.
Meow. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Fucking disgusting.
I'm sorry. Oh, look how meowless.
Laz is like, I'm gonna drink more now.
I'm gonna open a whole nother beer now.
Alright, fuck off.
Okay,
All right.
John. What do you have to say? You don't even know who your opponent is this weekend. What do you got to say to him?
they better be ready because, like you said, you haven't seen me around in 2 years, Ron. I haven't been to many places, so all I'm saying is I'm trying to make a name for myself again. I'm coming to make a name, and anybody who steps in there, I promise, I'm ready. That's all I gotta say. I can't even.
You got something for him? All right, John. Hey, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you jumping on the show. Because we tried to make sure we get everybody a chance to say hey and a chance to jump in and get involved. So I appreciate you being there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Wow.
Awesome.
It's so many moving pieces parts trying to catch up and keep up with everything. It's a bit hectic, but I think it's going to be a good time so far. Speaking of catching up, Eric Nelson, good evening. How you doing?
Howdy.
Cliff said, same here. Thomas is totally the most extreme cardio wrestler in the Carolinas. Yep. And Max Carnage has chimed in. Recently returned from Ohio, now located back here in the upstate.
Hey Max, fun fact: I wore your shirt in the ring like 2 weeks ago. The same shirt he gave me like 4 years ago. I still wear it.
Damn, you wear a Max Carnage shirt?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I tried to buy one and he had sold out that night. So he just gave me one of the clean shirts he had in his gear bag that he wears in the ring.
That's dope.
And I was like, I own like 4 shirts that have sleeves on it, and this is already sleeveless. Let's go.
Right.
I've been wearing it ever since, man.
That's awesome. Max always chimes in. Max watches most of these shows. It's awesome. We're gonna have to get Max on here eventually.
Yep.
Love Max.
I mean, so are we for a different show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But dude, there's so much. We still got more to cover.
Yeah. Let's go down the rest of this card.
All right. So Eden Monroe is going to be there. Ghazi, what am I to expect with Eden Monroe?
All Eden's okay. So Eden is a wrestler. They are based in Western Tennessee. They frequent a place called TWE in Chattanooga, but they also go around that whole area. When I announced this show, they wanted to come in, and I was like, well, are you looking to wrestle? What are you looking to do? And all I've consistently gotten out of them is I'm doing a body shot off of someone.
Okay.
I feel like they just wanted to come in just for the second part of the name of this show.
It's true.
That's good advertising.
That's definitely interesting. Because like I said, the Flyers have been popping for weeks on this, months even.
And don't anyone think they're not like a serious competitor? They've been TWE's Gig City champion for God knows how long at this point.
They are a genuine beast.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I look forward to finding out what Eden Monroe is able to do in the ring.
So yeah, if they do in fact get an opponent and have a match, you're going to see something unexpected.
I'm fairly confident that just described 99.8% of that show.
That's the point of the show.
So, let's see here. Nyx is coming.
I love that clown girl.
She's great.
Awesome.
Well, and we've been up front the whole time this show's been building. We're going to have wrestling, but we're also going to have dancing, burlesque dancers, all kinds of things. And so I was reaching out and I'm like, okay, who can we find that's a little bit different, who can have a little bit of fun? And I was like, oh yeah, I know this really fun clown girl.
Yep.
And she dug it. She loves wrestling, so she was immediately in on it. So we were like, come on in.
That's awesome. That's dope, man. Dope. Oh, wow. Getting another message wrong?
Yeah.
Yay, clown.
Look.
I was waiting for I was waiting for it.
Thomas' scream has
of course it's Thomas.
And fun fact, a lot of people know this at this point. Me and Thomas, even though we are in complete polar opposite sides of wrestling, have been put under the same banner for a long time of like the Mud Show guys. And we kind of we got bored. I don't remember what company we were at. And we just decided then and there that we were the Mud Show. We were the Mud Show legends. And if we ever tagged, which is a genuine possibility, we would tag under the name the Mud Show Legends.
It was kind of funny when I did my first death match, because there always is. There was a hater that come in and started going, "You fucking talentless Mud Show hack, you blah 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 blah." And I just sent it to Thomas and Laz, and I went, "Mud Show legend in the making, baby."
Yeah, I remember Ghazi's first death match. She wasn't even supposed to be in it. It was just a triple threat. It was me, Will Bannon, and Raven. And she's just talking to us. We're in the ring. And it's before the show. And she goes, I've always wanted to do a death match to see if I could pull it off. And I was like, oh, really? And it was her birthday. So I was just like, I just turned around and looked at the promoter. The promoter I was really cool with. So I just looked at him. I was like, hey, my death match is Fatal 4-Way now. Ghazi's in it. And he just goes, all right, bet. And I mean, she hung with us. And the next death match I did for that company, we couldn't find any referees who were not terrified of glass. So we just threw Ghazi in a striped shirt and slacks and made her the referee.
The message I got when I got booked for that was legit just, yeah, we've been trying to find a ref, and I just thought, well, we know Ghazi's not afraid of a little broken glass.
That's wow.
So Carnage said those shirts will never be reprinted. You've got an original. And Thomas said Mud Show Gods now.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Did you take that as a compliment?
Mud Show Gods. That's a t-shirt.
That's it. There we go. Hashtag Mud Show.
That is an absolute t-shirt.
Those shirts
Slipknot font, please.
Oh, absolutely. We'll do a special edition that's in like corn font.
I don't know. Dude. I still listen to stuff. I still listen to stuff. So
You gotta do it in all the fonts of all the bands that every indie wrestler uses for their entrance music.
Oh, so I need a Papa Roach version. Got it.
No, you need a freaking.
I Prevail, Slipknot, AC/DC,
Disturbed.
Disturbed, Ice Nine Kills.
Well, this shirt is from.
DC 101 Chili Cook.
Guess who I saw there was Papa Roach. I've seen him like 5 times there, or I don't know how many times I went.
Papa Roach actually puts on a pretty dope show. I'm not a big fan of their music, but their live shows are really cool.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. A horrifying statement I can make. I'll do that momentarily. Misfits font will be the most seen by Max.
Absolutely, I'll make one just for Max.
The most horrifying statement I can tell you about live concerts is that Nickelback put on a very good show, and nobody believes it.
Did you see the show they did in South America where they got booed until they did a cover of Sad But True by Metallica? And then
Oh my God, I've heard of that.
Switched back to their original music. They got booed off stage.
Wow.
Well, I heard the reason they actually eventually left stage is because someone hit him like right in the fucking head with a water bottle. So they were like,
it was
"Oh,
not just someone; it was multiple people.
Oh
You
my
see just
god!
a wave. They try to play photograph, and you see just a wave of stuff get launched at the stage.
Wow, that's awful. But let's see here. The only other match that we've got to talk about is the main event, and it is a death match.
You don't say. No me digas.
Brad
So-
Cash, Lazarus Black, and Remington Roar.
Wow.
Yeah, man, this match is gonna be insane. I met Rem at a Sinister Wrestling Society show last year, maybe the year before. And like this was before he really took off. And then like all of a sudden you see him on every deathmatch show. But Brad Cash, when I started working at TPW in Knoxville, Tennessee, he kind of took me under his wing, and he's like on the last stages of his career at this point, and he started going around and telling people I'm the next Brad Cash. So the match was originally just me and Remington, and then Brad ends up messaging me and is like, "Hey, I'm actually open that date."
yeah, no." Again, like you would think, no, even this match got changed, but it's for a good reason.
So
Right.
Brad, I did a death match last week, and that was his like farewell to Knoxville. It was him and the two guys that started TPW. And then this week I'm doing another death match, and this weekend is going to be. He looks at me and Rim as the guys who are kind of like carrying the torch. And it was kind of a big deal to us. We did a match at the Suicide King tournament, and we wanted to do more. And so we kept trying to set up a death match between me and him, and it kept falling through. And then this came to be, and we just knew, like, no, it has to happen because Rim looks up to Brad just as much as I do.
And I do too.
Yeah.
Like full disclosure, like Brad's someone who gave me a lot of early advice when it comes to this shit. So
And Brad, this will be his second to last match. His last match will be in AWR in Indiana. But it kind of became like this almost like passing of the torch that this match had to happen. And
passing,
kind
we're
of
gonna have to pry that bitch from him.
it kind of comes at a rough time physically for me, not mentally, because I'm really stoked about it. But last week was a death match. This week's obviously going to be a death match. And then September the 14th, I'm doing another death match. It's
gives
kind
a
of a
shit?
double-edged sword of building your name in the deathmatch world. But at this point, it's like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do every single one like it's my only one. Um, so this match meant a lot to us, and when I mentioned it to Ghazi that Brad wanted to come in on this match, there was no question. There was no second thought. It was just absolutely has to happen. Um, we did a lot with the show, and I'm pretty sure. So this might upset a couple of people. I'm pretty sure there are only like 2 straight people on this entire show, and both of them are like really big allies. Uh,
Well,
Brad,
because unless there's something I don't know about Ron, he's also straight, I think.
I'm talking about specifically people wrestling. I'm not gonna put things out about Thomas that I don't know. So maybe, but like that was the whole principle of the show, was bringing in the LGBT and the allies. And Brad has always been so supportive of me and so supportive of Ghazi that it was just a no-brainer that like it had to be a big deal for us to bring him in. So I'm excited for this match. This is the bloodbath that the title is talking about. We've got gusset plates, light tubes, machetes, saws, syringes.
Whatever the
Oof.
people of Asheville bring.
Yeah, so make sure to get your tetanus shot.
My tetanus shot has been out of date for like 15 years.
Oh my God.
Just make sure the barbed wire isn't rusty. Like we are really trying to push the limits because there's never been a true death match in Asheville that I'm aware of, at least.
There's been a couple no ring joints and a couple little things, but this is the first full scale announced, properly built one.
Yeah, with people who are active in the deathmatch community.
That's awesome. That says a lot. I mean, that's prestige in a way. This has to be quite the. I can only imagine what you're feeling.
I am nervous as hell. I mean, when Ghazi and I drove up to XPW, we went up there and saw their show in Jersey. My biggest reason for going there wasn't because I hoped I'd get a spot on the card. It was because I knew Brad Cash was finally getting his debut on XPW. Remington Roar, like just a couple months ago, did a death match over for Big Japan. And like, so these are not like just nobodies who Ian Rotten convinced to butcher themselves for no money. Like, these are guys who have built their name in this style of wrestling. Yes, that's throwing shots at Ian Rotten. I don't care.
Does anyone at this point?
That's true.
I'm sorry, but
after
after
money to
I'm sorry. At this point, after like Jake Christ burns your fucking belts for not paying him,
that was so cool. that was the dopest thing.
What the fuck?
yeah. So Ron, Jake was the dual IWA Mid South World Champion and Light Heavyweight Champion. Ian didn't pay him for 4 weeks, and like Jake calling him every like couple days. And so finally, Jake gave him an ultimatum. Hey, you need to get back to me, or at least tell me when you're going to pay me by 5 p.m. or something's going to happen. And Ian called his bluff, left him on red. So Jake posted a video of him burning his fucking belts.
Yep.
I do remember that. I do remember that. Laz sent it to me, I think.
Yeah,
I was like, what? I was like, Laz, why are you sending me this with no context? What the fuck is it?
probably the proudest I've ever been of Jake Christ. Like,
Okay.
because homie just stood on business.
Well, and the thing is, like, when he first started working with them, coming out of the pandemic, he made it public to everyone that he told Ian if he screws him over in any way, there would be hell to pay.
Yep.
He kept his fucking word.
Jesus Christ.
There's a price.
Yeah, and I mean, when we decided to do this, like it was Ghazi all the way. She brought me in as like originally as just like, hey, I need you to keep me sane while I'm doing this. And then it became like like we have connections that the other person doesn't have. I have connections she doesn't have. She has connections I don't have. We have knowledge that the other doesn't have. And it kind of just became this like, like let's just straight up be partners on this. Let's figure it out. Because we both had kind of a similar experience. And honestly, we went through a lot of it together.
Especially this time last year.
Yeah, like it went to the point where we had the show name before we came up with a company name. Like we knew we wanted to do Bloodbaths and Body Shots. It was originally just going to be a one-off, like let's blow off some steam, have some fun. And the more we thought about it, the more we were like, there's a lot of people who've been through the same shit as us. When Ghazi came out as trans, when I came out as non-binary, just off the rip from that, we had so many companies that just lost our number. And then when we started doing death matches, those numbers added up even higher. And so kind of the idea behind PWA is, well, those people who never really did anything wrong, let's give them a place to show people like this isn't just a gimmick. We're not fucking gold dust. We're gonna come out here and we're gonna like do serious, legitimate pro wrestling. We're going to show you that deathmatch can be just as beautiful as like your typical traditional pro wrestling match. And we kind of just moved into the idea of like, nah, like let's make this a company, and that's how the Pride Wrestling Alliance was born.
Right. I can remember about October a year ago, guys. You and I were outside of a building, and you showed me a picture. We were outside of a building in North Carolina, and you showed me a picture and it was Bloodbaths and Body Shots. It was just the name. It was just the logo. There was no people on it yet. And I looked at it and looked at you like, well, what the fuck is that? And it's this thing I'm building. I was like, right on, keep me posted. And lo and behold, I don't know what, 3-4 months ago,
Yeah,
we ended up in a conversation, or you were on here and you said, I need to talk to you. And I was like, okay, we'll talk off air. And an hour later, after we got off the damn phone of catching up on life, because I ain't seen you in almost a fucking year, it was like, well, shit. Okay, this is something. This is going to be something. Okay, let's do it.
and another guy who helped make this happen in the comments. One Jimmy Ward.
Jimmy Ward is watching my show. I'm surprised.
I don't know if he's still in, but he posted a comment saying "knock knock."
Knock.
Oh, geez.
He helped this happen. Oh, hey, Dalton.
Yeah,
Blood.
Brian Mandis popped in. Dalton, Laz, and Ghazi, two of my absolute favorite crazy ass son of a bitches. Dalton said always an ally, and Jimmy Ward, knock knock. What's up, Jimmy? What's up, everybody? Damn, we missed a bunch of comments. Talking.
Jimmy was another guy who me and Laz both went back and forth with a lot. Before we ended up, we're renting a couple of his things for this show. So it's like he's helped us a lot. Obviously you're helping us a lot, Ron. Laz has helped me keep my head on straight while we're going through all this. So like, there's a lot of people that's helped make this happen. Like if a DVD gets released, the end credits are going to have so many people listed.
Damn.
And I almost made a Facebook post about it today because I see so much crap talked on Jimmy's name. Um, especially when I hear him like being called, homophobic or something like that. And I'm like, Jimmy is helping us put on the gayest show the Carolinas have ever seen.
With all due respect to Effie's Big Gay Brunch or Thanksgiving that happened.
Yeah, like this is I think I actually said it to a guy today. This is the gayest show that's ever been run without Effie's name on it.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it kind of just took on a life of its own, in all honesty. And like Ghazi said, like one of the first things we thought of was like, whose ring do we use? Like, where can we get a ring? Neither of us have the disposable income to go drop a couple grand on a ring. And I ended up like thinking about Jimmy. And we were like, Jimmy has never been in a state that allowed blood in his ring. And he was just like, nah, bro, have fun. And so, I mean, I could not give enough props to that man for working with us, and even just like the amount of times that Ghazi and I have stood at his house back when the Welford Pavilion was a thing and just talked to him.
Went one time to take a trash can to his house because we had used it in a hardcore match. And he was like, hey, do you mind if I get that back? And I was like, yeah, no problem. So I went down to his place just to give him the trash can back and ended up leaving 2 hours later.
Wow.
That's going to Jimmy Ward's house. Period. That's going to his house. Period. I promise.
And I would train for 2 hours, but I would talk for 4.
Yep.
And like guys like him, guys like the people.
It's so true.
It's like Ron coming in and helping. Even outside of that, just like Ghazi getting advice from like Masada.
It's so true. Laz, you remember that match?
Oh, dude, that was such a fun match. Just 5 minutes or 10 minutes of flexing and 2 minutes of wrestling.
Like genuinely, like all we were. Speaking of replacements, we were replacements for their opponents.
Yep.
Like I got called at the 11th hour and said, "Hey, we had some cancellations on this show. Can you find a partner and come wrestle the faction?" And I was like, "Got you." So we went in, came out. Crowd kind of didn't know what to make of us at first because we're in East Tennessee dressed like we dress. 10 minutes later, the entire crowd loves 2 of the gayest people in the area.
That's
I remember
awesome.
when Ghazi sent me that message, I was like, are they okay with blood in the ring? Because the week before I had just done like an insanely violent death match and hadn't healed yet.
I think that happened like right after we had both been on a deathmatch show, hadn't it?
Yeah,
Like-
that was right after Herzog choke slammed you on top of me.
That's
with
right.
hands on me.
Yeah, that's right. We'd both gotten fucked up. So that's what we were worried about. And I'm going to say that's why we lost.
Jimmy Ward asked if you were drinking a Celsius, among other things. But yes, yes.
I'm drinking, well,
Apple whiskey.
hang on.
There we go.
I need to grab more. Reloading.
Lamanda chimed in. You all are freaking awesome. Let's see here. And Jeff said I use guys as gender neutral, and usually accused me and Conley of being the. Oh my god!
And that's what's so funny. Like in those kinds of, is calling someone gay is derogatory. And we were so gay that we made the crowd the actual gay people were made like the biggest baby faces on the show.
It's true. Oh, and I feel like we could segue into this kind of cleanly. So people look at this show. This is kind of our. In the future, this will kind of be our WrestleMania. Bloodbaths and Body Shots. This will be our biggest show of the year. But there are two different sides to PWA. There is our standard Pride Wrestling Alliance pro wrestling shows. They will always be smaller than what you're seeing now. It'll be 3 to 5 matches, burlesque dancers in between, have a lot of fun, stuff like that. Very high quality pro wrestling. Then there will be what we are calling the Wired Jaw Social Club. The Wired Jaw Social Club will be no ring, fighting on the gravel pits, just throwing hands and hoping for the best. It is not going to be pretty. It is not going to be flashy. It is going to be brutal and violent. And that is the best thing that we can bring to it.
Well, and also, like, on that note, like, I'm sure some people are like, oh, well, will we see, like, the Wired Jaw as part of Yeah, like, there will be crossing between the two, especially, like, on our big shows.
Absolutely.
So, like, there's a few things in mind right now, but say we make a Wired Jaw title. That title will still come out on the regular PWA shows, but if it's defended, it's going to be hardcore, deathmatch, stipulations. Like, it's going to be buck wild as fuck every time. If the name Wirejaw is used, someone's getting their ass kicked.
And that'll be my baby. Some of you guys may remember I was part of a tag team called the Wirejaw Social Club. That name is something, the tag team didn't last very long. But that name is something that I had started back when I was a teenager, and we were a bunch of idiots trying to exemplify the movie Fight Club.
Okay.
So we would just meet up in my backyard and beat the hell out of each other, and we called it the Wired Jaw Social Club. And I was like, this is such a cool name that it has to be saved and kept. And when I pitched it to Ghazi about being like a second brand for the show, it kind of just exploded and was like, absolutely, we have lists and lists of people we plan on bringing in for that.
Oh, not only that, people have been messaging us for weeks now. Like, both of us, like, even today, we had people, like, clamoring for those open spots. Like when we say,
I was doing it before the show.
but like when we say like this show was hectic, it was still like not a breeze, but there was a level of holy shit.
Yeah, it was kind of a like, especially this last couple days. It's been this is actually happening. This is actually going to get pulled off. And it's kind of funny because this is a show that is run by wrestlers for wrestlers. And so we kind of understand some of the gripes that people have with working for promotions of people who have never been pro wrestlers. Like, I remember one of the first messages we got, it was kind of funny, was I reached out to a guy about doing the show, and he goes, "Oh, so I'm assuming no pay?" And I was like, "Bro, like, how many times have you been annoyed working the show for no pay?" Like, no, we pay everyone who comes in. You put your body on the line, you get compensated for it. The second most common message I've got is like, this is way more structured than I expected something to be from Lazarus and Ghazi.
That is a backhanded compliment if I've ever heard of it.
It really
It's
is.
like, it's like we can be serious sometimes, assholes.
Are you sure?
It's truly honest because like our lives and our wrestling careers are pure chaos. And it just comes down to a combination of ADHD and autism. Like,
hey, you too.
Focusing on like sitting down and making sure every single detail of this is plotted out. We've got timelines down to like 5 minutes of dancers and songs and stuff like that. And it's just the hyper focus. And I mean, a lot of this work has been Ghazi, honestly.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this. I am not the most available person on Facebook Messenger because
He's not.
so, and Laz will tell you why. Because Laz was part of those conversations 3 years ago when my phone's going off at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm answering Laz and getting up at 5 to leave for work.
Yep.
So I had to get out of it full time. I couldn't handle Messenger that way. When Ghazi approached me, I straight up asked, I was like, listen, we're cool. And I know Laz. I don't really know anybody else on your show, but are you sure you fucking are talking to the person you really want there? Because I didn't understand why we were having that conversation. And then you explained it to me. You explained why you wanted me to be there. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm in. I'm fine with this. I was concerned, and to a degree, I'm still kind of fucking scared. So, I mean, it's a learning curve.
The truth of it is, we wanted to see what it was like to get Ron completely uncensored.
That too. Like, when Laz and I were talking about this, we were kind of like, who's someone we know that would probably have some of the most fun with this? And it wasn't this no-brainer, oh yeah, obviously, but like we talked about it and we were like, you know who would be a lot of fun?
Yeah. It was almost immediate. Like, it was, I bet I know who would have a lot of fun announcing this show.
And who would be a lot of fun for the fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and I appreciate that. I spoke with Jimmy on Sunday. For anybody who does follow social media, and including mine, I worked at his house on Sunday. So anyway, him and I were talking, and he goes, I don't get excited for shit. I don't get excited for anything. I am excited for Saturday. And I'm like, me too. Because I know what we're going to see is nothing we've ever fucking seen before and will probably not see again.
Dude,
That's awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, in South Carolina, like, you can't even cuss in the ring. Like, the commission will give you shit about cussing in the ring. And
what?
Yeah, I've seen it happen. I've seen people get
Really?
fined for saying ass in the ring.
Huh.
But when we started talking about this, Ghazi had a list of people she wanted to bring in. And the first thing we discussed was, we don't want people who people can drive 20 minutes to see next week. We want to bring in the people that this crowd has never seen before.
And it just so happened that I knew a lot of people from Tennessee and Alabama.
Exactly.
And Laz was like, well, I know some people from a little bit further up north in the deathmatch scene. And it started
It just started compiling until we just had it.
Watch how comfortably this loudmouth redneck fits in.
I mean, this show's also been promoted at a flea market, so you won't be the only one.
Well, I mean, we're in Asheville, so there's got to be some bumpkinies out there.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm not sure how diverse this crowd is going to be, but I fully expect there's going to be a melting pot of people.
Yeah, I always say that Asheville is to North Carolina what Knoxville is to Tennessee and what Greenville is to South Carolina. It is the one city where everyone is completely different than the rest of the state. Like if
Okay.
you meet someone from Asheville, North Carolina, and then you drive 50 miles farther up 85, you are meeting an entirely different breed of person.
Normally in, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's true. But when they come
I had to.
together, especially at a wrestling show, I mean, like, you got this was one of the shows where we legitimately had to go, like,
Yeah, pretty
okay,
much,
this
Jeff.
person is
Yep.
very openly and blatantly gay. They're going to be a babyface because this is Asheville. The crowd is going to be obsessed with them because this is Asheville.
But also,
I'm
yeah, pretty much, Jeff. Pretty much what you said there.
yeah. What Jeff was saying is saying there's going to be rednecks in the drum circle with the hippies and the goths. Yes, it's going to be
pretty
a
much. Yeah,
melting pot. It's going to be a melting pot.
it's gonna be
I
the high school, the early morning when a lot of people meet up in the front of the high school. That's pretty much what it's gonna be like.
Well, and here's something else I want to throw in real quick. When we say, oh, well, we don't want people that you can go see 20 minutes down the road, we're not against working with just about anybody. There's a reason that the last name of this show is Alliance. Because for God's sakes, everything else in this fucking world divides us. Wrestling should be somewhere where everyone can come together. That's as far as I'm going to take it. That's where we'll leave it.
No, you're absolutely right.
You're not wrong, and I appreciate it. And I want to say to the both of you, thank you for bringing me in on this, because I'm not educated on the shit.
Right.
And I know that this is going to be a learning experience for me. I'm also really interested to see how that audience reacts, because I'm sure everybody's, almost everybody out there knows the one fall. And I know most of these people have probably seen a wrestling show before. I don't know. I'm excited to see what I can come up with in front of them. I will put it that way.
You know how, like, the old saying was, like, Canada's bizarro world? Like,
Yeah.
Reactions would be inverse there for a while, and they would call it. That's kind of like how Asheville is. There's a lot of people that think are going to get different reactions than they're used to or what people normally expect.
I am very interested.
It's going to be a great show, regardless. So let's get to our predictions.
Yes. Yeah, we've got to get. Oh well, hold on. I've got a couple of. I've got one more video to play, and then guys, he's got to tell me about this. So hold on.
Oh, okay.
Gauzy, you have fled from me for far too long. And then, this weekend, you throw on a show. Aye, and you told me I'd get the match. And then, you do not rematch me. You do not face me again. You do not stand before the daughter of Tyr and face your judgment. No, you send a child. This Jack child. And then, he flees. He flees because he hears that the daughter of Tyr is coming. He sees the raven banner flying high, and he knows his doom approaches. Well, Guzzy, there is very little you can hide behind before I get my hands upon you. So, I am coming, and I am bringing my head advisor. And me and him, either through words or through my fist, I will get you to agree to a rematch with me. And then we will see who the true warrior is. And perhaps it was you who was set in the halls of Odin until Valhalla takes you. See you then.
Ghazi, you covered your face.
Wow.
This was sent to me, and I was like, all right, then I'm gonna play it. I just gotta know when to, and I figured now was a good time. So,
well, hello to you too, Sigrid. So when I was AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Champion, I put out some feelers and some challenges, and she's someone who came in.
Okay.
Very obviously, she was not happy with that result. And no, I can say she has wanted a rematch for a while. Here's the thing, it's not that I've been running, it's that she's one of the people that are in Tennessee. It's hard for us to find a middle ground. I've tried telling her this, but for God's sake, it is hard to communicate with someone via Raven these days.
I was just about to say.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That
Yeah.
makes complete and utter sense to me.
She
that
don't
it's
have
hard-
we had this argument before we went live. She don't have an Apple, she don't have an Android, she got a goddamn bird.
Imagine how I
Have you
feel.
tried scrying through a
It's my
mirror?
message in a bottle.
Exact, but and she's I don't even like me and Soraya. We've had this pretty much set between us. We knew this is what we wanted to do. But I also wanted to do something for Sigrid. So I was like, "Hey, we have a match for you if you are available that day." I guess she got that message cuz I got a response saying she was in. But clearly she's upset that it's still not me. And I don't know what to do with her.
To be fair, I'm still upset you and I haven't got our one-on-one death match yet. So
not for fucking lack of trying.
I mean,
It's just not in the cards yet.
I mean,
Can we see it in a future show?
We've discussed that when and if we start a schedule and we get going, we're
Mhm.
gonna do a little bit first, get everyone rolling, get that momentum building, and we'll get there. That's what me and Laz have discussed. Sigrid, on the other hand, is just kicking down a door saying no now, and it gets irritating after a minute.
yeah,
Right.
it's been frustrating, mainly because I don't speak Old Norse. But the thing about most wrestling companies that are started by wrestlers that causes them to fail is that the people end up using it as their own little fantasy wrestling company where it's like, oh, I can bring in whoever I want to wrestle me. And it ends up killing it because it ends up destroying the integrity of the company when, oh, this guy is the one who reaches out to people and suddenly they have all the superstar matches. How shocking. And
Yeah.
we didn't want to do that. We wanted to, and Gothi knows exactly who I'm talking about. We wanted to put together matches and put people in the ring together who we felt would actually put on a good match. And I feel like we've done that even with the clusterfuck of
In the last week.
dropouts that we've had in the last week. Some of these guys, we completely understood their reasons and we have talked to them about future dates. Some of them, we just kind of said, okay, we're deciding for you, bye-bye. But it's kind of the thing of we value good wrestling over our own ego.
Right.
And that is a thing that is so rare in modern wrestling.
Well, the other trick is, and Laz, please try not to spit your beer when I say this. You're also not, thank you. You're also not somebody running a company who has to put 2 main titles on themselves after never being trained properly ever, and YouTube doesn't count.
That part.
That whole part.
I will be
You go on YouTube,
I will be
you
deep.
look up How to Wrestle 101. This is an actual channel. That is not a wrestling school. I do not care what you say. If you were not trained in a ring by another pro wrestler who has at least some modicum of talent, you do not deserve to be in a ring. CWE, prime example. And I will throw the shots. I understand that the owners of this podcast's views may not match the views of the guests on the podcast, but I will throw the shots. That is a promotion that is run by a guy who learned how to do pro wrestling on 4 mattresses surrounded by 4 2x4s hammered into the ground with twine on them. That is not pro wrestling. You do not deserve to be in this business. I never hope to see someone fail, but I hope you never succeed.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we put this together, it was just kind of a
God, the comments are killing me.
Oh my God, yeah. The comments are dying right now.
He said Old Norse.
Laz and I both speak Old Whore. Don't worry about that.
Ron probably has some Ravens you could use. I don't understand that. If that's a Baltimore joke, bro,
I see what he
I'm way
did
the
there.
fuck. No.
See what he did there.
No. Listen.
Oh God, here
Baltimore
comes
is
the
the
Baltimore
place.
rant.
Look, Baltimore is the place where you can get both types of crabs. Okay, you don't want to play fuck around and find out in Baltimore. I promise you that shit. I hate Baltimore.
Thank you, Jimmy. You just
No.
There's the
But if that was the Ravens reference you were making to. Why are we referring to a poet who, like, didn't he marry his 14-year-old cousin or some shit? Yeah, I think that was it. I'm pretty sure I'm right with that. And they named a football team after it. That's fucked up as a soup sandwich. Anyway, yep. Let's catch up. I scared off 2 guys. Yes. You mean I could actually become a champion? I have been trained and I run a promotion. He qualifies. Hey, he does. He qualifies. And
they
Thomas
had mattresses.
said we had mattresses, or they had mattresses. Yeah.
Honestly, Jimmy Ward has a better physique than anyone at CWE, so I could see him winning.
I was going to say, at least has a decent physique sometimes.
Dude, here's the thing. People sleep on Jimmy. Jimmy is freaking jacked.
I was just there. He threw a chainsaw like it wasn't shit.
Jimmy is freaking jacked.
Yeah.
All right.
We worked our ass off. But anyway, there's that. That video's out of the way, and we talked about Sigrid.
Thomas asked a question. I don't know where it went. He had a question for Lorenzo.
Oh, somebody asked a question about Lorenzo. Hold on. That wasn't Thomas. That was Jeff.
Jeff. Okay.
Hold on. It's up here.
Is Lorenzo doing the bloodbath or the body shots?
I think he'd be doing a body shot. Lorenzo's going to disappear for the evening. Just probably be hanging out with everybody. That's his vibe.
Yeah.
I'm going to do both.
Braswell said, much love. See you Saturday. We'll see you then. I got one more video to play. It's pretty badass, and we're actually going to use that to see this show out. So after this, we will say goodbye and tell you one more again where you need to be.
Dreams about falling in love. It feels so real, but nobody is here when I wake up. Do you know my name? The devil's in the detail. I'm a natural born killer. Control, plot twist, a whole generation lost with no promise. Can you feel?
Wow. That is a hype video right there. Oh, and by the way, we do not own any of the rights to the music, so leave me the fuck alone
No, we do
with
not.
your damn copyright infringement shit. I had to delete the CPW shit off of me because it was still happening from 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow, that's crazy.
I just had to delete it this year.
And
I got
thank you
6
for the
more
compliment,
hits this
because
year.
I made that fucking video.
I was going to say, if you want to know how excited Lazarus is for this match,
I made that.
That is awesome, dude. That is really good. But anyway, guys, look, one more time. It's Bloodbaths and Body Shots.
Woo!
We have got
Put up that poster.
when does the meet and greet start? Because doors open at 6 or at 5.
yeah, doors open at 5. That's basically going to be the meet and greet's going to run till roughly 6:30 or so. Then we're going to send everyone back to get ready. Bell time's at 7.
Okay.
Good
There
time.
it is. Tickets are $15. This is the Getaway River Bar and Grill. Or just bar. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, just bar. Just bar.
Yeah, I saw Asheville and I went bar and grill because it was bar Asheville. It's fucked up.
Oh, and
Dick
we should
Lexic.
clarify, the flyers say 18 and up due to recent communications with the venue. The show is actually 21 and up.
Yeah, that was something they put on us fairly recently, but well within their rights to do. They felt
Yep.
like that's what this show warranted, so it's what we're going to have to do.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, so it is 21 and up. Understood. Hey, 21 and up is crazy. This is going to be a fun time. I'm genuinely excited. I can't wait to see what Asheville has in store for me, and I can't wait to show Asheville what I got in store for them.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be fun on a butt.
It's going to be something serious.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the most insane things that's ever hit the scene.
It's going to be intense. But anyways, folks, seriously, thank you guys both for coming on here.
It's just awesome.
Ghazi, Laz, we'll see both of you this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, you know where to be this Saturday night. If you're in the area, come on out. We'll see you there. If we don't see you there, we'll see you at the Indies. Remember, 2 more shows, 8 p.m. this week, tomorrow night and Thursday night. We'll see you again. Take it easy.
Love, everyone.
Deuces.